Everybody, welcome to another episode of Grown Folks Talking Live. Your time to relax and transform. Anyone can stimulate you sexually, talk about gossip, have you in your woes and everything else. But here we're elevating your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul. You're in for an awesome ride today. As always, we're going to get our meditation on. We're going to listen to a little bit of music to help us focus. Our book read today is going to be phenomenal. And our special guest host is, you all, I'm trying to tell you, it's somebody whom I manifested. And this man talks about infecting 1 billion people with success. And when I saw him 3 years ago, I said, one day we are going to converse and work together. And today is the day that he is on this show. I know you're like, who is it? Who is it? Who is it? I'm going to tell you right after we do our gratitude, because you know how we do. I need you to get your pen and your pad, because you're going to need to take notes. You're going to want to write down these jewels and add them to your treasure chest. Oh, yes. So if this is your first time on our show, we always start off with a moment of gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude that pretty much solves any and every problem that you have. When you're able to look at your situation and recognize that, hey, there's a lesson in here. Hey, there's a solution in here. Hey, there's something that I can change in here. It shifts the whole dynamic. So I'm grateful to be alive today. I'm grateful for all of you who are tuning in. I'm grateful that my son is a natural at baseball. Yes. I want you to take a moment as a listener and think about, what are you grateful for in this moment? And while you do that, I'm going to tell you about this gentleman who's coming on. His name is Billionaire P.A. He is from Alabama. He was homeless. And a lot of us, or some of us have went through that. I know I have experience with that as well. He was homeless. And then he slept in his truck for 63 days. I believe he was homeless for 93, and he can correct me on that, 93 months. And this man made a determination that he was not going to live that way anymore. He had been in and out of jail over 10 times before the age of 21. He thought he wasn't going to make it. But then one day he decided to make it when he was facing the choice with himself to say no more. And he said no more to this craziness and yes to life. And in that moment, he started a t-shirt company with one shirt. And now he is traveling the world. He has an academy. He's a speaker. He has merchandise. He has murals around the world, motivating, empowering, and inspiring people. Like he said, infecting 1 billion people. 1 billion, you all, with success. Billionaire P.A., I'm so grateful for you. Are you here?
Yes, ma'am, sister. I'm here. I appreciate your existence.
Oh, thank you. Question for you. What does gratitude mean to you, and what are you grateful for?
Oh, man. Well, today, I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to breathe. Because without the breath in my body, I wouldn't be able to speak these dreams into existence. And correction, I want to make sure I get the right information to the good people. I was homeless for 36 months. It was 36 months, not 90-something. It's 36 months. And I slept in my truck for 63 straight days. Wow. After I came out my truck, I slept wherever I could. But hey, I don't really spend too much time talking about where I came from, as much as I talk about the impact of what I'm gonna make on this world. And that's to inspire 1 billion people to speak life into their dreams. And I'm grateful that God gave me, of all the people he could have gave that gift to, he gave it to me. So I'm just grateful, and I speak into existence that you be grateful enough for the gifts that God gave you to use them.
Wow. That's powerful. I love that you said you focus on the impact that you're going to make versus the past. So in moving forward in your journey, how has that made a difference in what you've been able to accomplish thus far?
It's made a tremendous difference in the way that I move, because I see the impact that it has on other people who didn't even have the confidence to be able to speak life into their dreams. And so when you're able to see the impact that you have, and you're able to see that people actually go from not even believing in their dream to getting to a destination of living their dream. Like, I know even if only one person or two people hear this, they going to feel like this was for me. And I want to confirm to them that this really is for you. It's not a coincidence. If you was in a terrible situation, this message was for you. This was God talking through me to you to inspire you. Don't give up on your gifts. Don't give up on your dreams. Be selfish, be selfish, be selfish, and go get your dreams.
Wow, did you say be selfless and be selfish?
No, I said be selfish. Be very selfish. Focus on you. Focus on your breath. Focus on your health. God gonna focus on everybody else. You just focus on your destiny. If you focus on filling your cup up, you won't have to worry about pouring your blessings out on everybody else. The cup would just run over. They teach you not to be selfish. But the opposite of selfish is selfless. And I would never want you to think less of yourself. When your lights get cut off, do the selfless people come up to you and say, I'll pay for your light bills? Do all of the people who told you not to be selfish come and pay for your child's school? You do that. So take care of you first. Worry about your bank account. Worry about your health. Worry about your family. And in the way that you take care of yourself, the way that you treat yourself is exactly how you would treat other people.
Wow. Wow. That's such a great segue. I love that you said focus on your breath. So you all, we're going to go into our meditation. I want to ask you, if you're driving, please, please, please be sure to pull over. Do not try to get into all these deep breaths and closing your eyes, while you're driving. If you are driving or you're in movement or you're at work, you can still participate. I just ask that you keep your eyes open, or if you can't move your hands, put them in a safe place. So I'm going to ask everybody to sit up in a position that's very comfortable. Make sure that your back is straight, or as straight as you possibly can make it. If you are able to lay down, then you can lay down and position yourself in a straight line. The reason that you want your back to be straight is so that your breaths can easily flow through. I want to ask you to put your hands on the top of your thighs, and you're going to roll your shoulders back while taking a deep inhale through your mouth. So you're going to inhale and roll. Hold your shoulders back. Exhale and drop your shoulders. And yes, you're exhaling out of your mouth. You're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale and roll backwards your shoulders. Give thanks for that breath that you have and the ability to breathe. Exhale. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to reset the brain. Take your right hand, put it over your left nostril. Press your left nostril. Breathe in through your right nostril. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Exhale out your right nostril. Take your left hand, put it on your right nostril. Press your right nostril. Inhale through your left nostril. Hold it, hold it. Exhale. One more time. Take your right hand, left nostril. Press. Inhale. Exhale. Left hand, right nostril. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to breathe as we go into resolve during conflict.
For resolve during conflict. There are lessons that I am to learn through the conflicts I am encountering. I face obstacles that serve as delusions from the reality of my greatness. I know that I am a part of the divine creator and that every breath is a new beginning, an opportunity for success. Thank you for new breaths and each breath that I inhale and exhale. In these conflicts, I desire to obtain heightened wisdom, understanding, clarity, and virtue to master skills that propel me to living in a higher and better state of existence. When there is conflict, I recognize that my interpretation determines my actions, feelings, and words in each situation. It is my responsibility to go into my heart and seek love. At this moment, I seek love and accept that love is overflowing through me in all of my ways due to the divine that is within and around me. At this moment, I release all negative thoughts and ideas from this conflict. I free myself from the bondage on my heart, mind, and soul. Divine light is transforming my being into a creature who demonstrates divine actions in all of my ways, including my words, decisions, silence, facial expressions, body language, and interactions. I give thanks for resolve and for the future that lays ahead, which this moment is preparing me.
Welcome back, you all. Take that deep breath. Snap back. We got Billionaire P.A. with us. Mr. Billionaire P.A.
What's going on, sister? I appreciate you. I appreciate your
And how do
existence.
you feel about the meditation we just participated in with all our listeners?
The one thing that I love about it is it gives you the opportunity not to focus too much on your past, and it sets the tone of just enjoying your present moment or where you at, because so many times people have so much going on in their life and their minds be running 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I just appreciate.
That was about 6 minutes of your life focusing on you and being dedicated to you. We know that part of a way of being healthy is to make sure that you take time for yourself. A lot of times we'll feel anxiety when we have to pause and we're not busy. But not pausing and not taking that time for yourself can cause you to go into anxiety. It can cause depression. And we want you to be elevated and motivated and pumped up and fired up and charged up for life. So be sure that you take time every single day of your life to be with you, I recommend at least 30 minutes to an hour every single day for your self-care regimen. If you don't have that time, make that time because it's always there. And you just did it with us. I want to give thanks to everyone who participated. For you, Mr. Billionaire P.A., for participating in our meditation and giving your thoughts on what is meditation for you and what does it mean to you?
Meditation for me is a place where you get the opportunity to live in the present moment, not focus on too much that happened to you in the past, but you can take that deep breath and just understand that your greatest wealth is your health. And then you don't have to focus too far on the future, but you just learn to live in the now. That's what it did for me.
Wow. So do you recommend meditating like every day in some form or fashion, whether it's just the breathing or yoga?
It's not something that I do every day, but before I can recommend things for other people, I always say I got to be the greatest what the things that I tell people to do, if I'm gonna ask people to do something, I got to do it too. So I do see the benefit of it, and I want to make time for it, because a lot of times we don't think that we have time for it. So I'm gonna make a conscious effort this week to meditate and speak it to existence. I want to meditate at least 3 days this week. That's what I'm gonna do. I just like to be transparent.
It's already done. Definitely appreciate and love your integrity. Integrity is not something that a lot of people really operate in nowadays, with everything in social media and just the facades of life. So the fact that you are transparent and you are living in your integrity is definitely appreciated.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's the only thing that I know how to do. I have to live with the truth. I don't want to live with myself with lies.
A question for you: how did you come about into deciding to help 1 billion people?
I dedicated my life to want to help 1 billion people because I no longer wanted to be like racist or just set out to help Black people. I love Black people, but I wanted to inspire the whole world. And I don't know the statistics, but at the time, I don't think it was 1 billion like Black people, like especially like in my neighborhood where I'm from. It wasn't that many. I was only like 15,000, 20,000 people in my neighborhood, in my city where I'm from. So I wanted to stretch myself to go far and beyond just the people that I knew. I don't think I had the confidence at some time to be able to walk up to Asian people or walk up to white people or walk up to Mexican people. So I always was comfortable around, like doing this interview with you, I'm comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But I wanted to make myself be comfortable around other people, even at the expense of if they felt uncomfortable, because I'm great. I'm phenomenal. And being a Black man in this world, people are so intimidated because they wish they had the gifts and the talents that Black people had. And the thing is, Black people, the thing I love about being Black is no matter how much you beat us up, you beat us into the dirt. And you beat us and you attempt to kill us, but you forget that when you beat us down into the dirt, you planted a seed. And that's why them babies that the ancestors be having, that be myself, they sprout out into flowers and they end up changing the world, because all you did was help us grow. You motivated us, you fueled us, and nothing will ever stop us from manifesting the dreams of changing the world. So I figured, if I'm going to have this genius inside of me, I might as well not use half of it, but I might as well use all of it. So why would I tell myself I'm going to help 15,000 people when I know God got the genius in me to help 1 billion?
Wow. The sincerity in what you're saying, and then the fact of getting over your fear. The main thing I hear in that is something that a lot of us have to apply and learn about, is getting over that fear factor, or getting out of what people say our comfort zone, or what we perceive as our comfort zone. You said, being around other people pretty much who look the same, maybe have the same background, same neighborhood, that was something easy to do. But talking to people who weren't really in your neighborhood, people who didn't really look like you, didn't necessarily have the same status, instead of you wavering from it and saying you'll limit yourself to just staying with what you know and what you're familiar with, you decided to expand yourself outside of yourself. And is that where your books came from?
I'm sorry, ask me that question again.
Oh, did your books come from the expansion of yourself, you overcoming that fear?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to continue to inspire the world and change the world and inspire people to speak their dreams into existence.
That's awesome. So on our show, we do a book read. And since you have 83 books, we're going to just read one of them, just one. And this is from your book, 7 Steps to a Wealthy Mind.
Yes, ma'am. 7 Steps to Developing a Wealthy Mindset.
Thank you. And I'm reading step 1. And I have to say to everybody listening, these colors that you use, the purple, the gold, and the black, that is part of your brand. That is part of everything you have. And then the man's head with a bow tie is part of everything you have and part of every brand. So before I read page 41, which says step 1, work to create a wealthy mindset, the mind, Could you explain those three colors, the gold, the black, and the purple, and why you chose the man's head with a tie?
Man, if I want my mama, if my mama was listening, she would tell me, baby, don't tell them too much information, because if you give them all your information, if you give them all your knowledge, people ain't gonna do nothing with it. They're not gonna value it. They're not gonna appreciate it. And people only pay attention when they pay for it. So it's so powerful in that book that I don't want to give out all of the knowledge, all of the information. If people want to support, people wait on people to die to appreciate them. People wait on people to die to buy them flowers. I want my flowers, I want my gifts, I want my success, and I want all the I love yous while I'm living. So if people is really interested in learning more about it, I would just advise them to go to the website, support the book, buy the book, read the book, and apply the information, because you're only I feel like you only apply and you only listen to what you pay for. And when you don't pay attention.
I love that, though. I love that you said go to the book. So can you tell them where they can go and get your book and how they can reach out to learn more and to support you? And then I'll read step one.
It's wealthymindsunline.com. I'm not on no other major platforms, but I'm still major.
So for all the listeners, you didn't catch that, having confidence within yourself to know that you're major because you're major. Pretty much.
Exactly. I'm going to stay 100% independent. I love it. I love being able to live my life in a positive light and do what I want to do and do what God wants me to do, and which is just to inspire and to live and to uplift people how I feel, how I see fit within my heart, within my soul. And so I didn't never want to sign to or publish with nobody else, because I don't want them to make money I don't want them to get successful off of my dreams when they didn't take none of the struggles. You know what I'm saying? My mama was told she would possibly never walk again. I put that story in that book. I'm the one that went through seeing my mama possibly die, seeing my mama possibly told she would never be able to walk again. So why would I put my book on a platform and let them make 30% of my success, but they didn't endure 30% of the struggles? They didn't endure 30% of the jail time. They didn't endure 30% of the pain when my daddy got hit by the drunk driver. They didn't endure 30% of my 7-year-old cousin dying. You should die 30% inside an attempt to walk around like a zombie and then be just numb for a whole year or 2 years that your cousin got killed when she was 7. But you think you're finna reap the benefit of the success off my book? That's why I wake up every day and I sell my products. I push my products. I talk about my products, because to y'all, it's a book. To me, it's me carrying my family's legacy. I'm carrying my grandmama. I'm carrying my little cousin who got killed. I'm carrying my uncle who got shot. I'm carrying my mama. That's what I'm doing. They with me everywhere I go. I make sure their dreams live through me. My little cousin didn't get the opportunity to grow up and have no baby. She didn't get the opportunity to go to the prom. So I'm doing all that for her. Everything she wanted to do, I'm going to make sure that I do it to its fullest extent, regardless of what any man or any woman say about me, because I realize most of the people who will ever say anything about you, they've never paid one of your light bills. So don't worry, you're going to be okay. You're going to keep living. Let them keep talking. People tend to talk about, the only people who tend to have anything to say about you normally is the people who don't have nothing going on in their life.
And blessings and condolences for all of those souls. You have an exceptional amount of strength within what you say and a very strong conviction behind everything you say. And then you also have a level of vulnerability that most people don't normally see or expect to see or hear or witness within a man. What do you attribute that to? Because it's a beautiful thing to witness. And I think people really need to understand that men have feelings, thoughts, emotions, and that it's not always capsulated and held in, and that you can transform it into something positive despite how others may perceive it.
Well, I look at it like, just because you have something in between your legs doesn't make you a man. So I always had a mother who taught me the difference between positivity and the difference in between negativity.
Mm-hmm.
If you pop the hood of the car, and I promise you this analogy is going to go right in alignment with the question that you asked. If you pop the car on the hood, if you pop the hood on your car, you see there's a negative and a positive sign. There's a God and there's a devil, there's a good and there's a bad. Nobody want to go through the struggle. But the only reason why you appreciate your success is because of your struggles. So so what I'm saying is the car, it don't even go forward without negative and positive energy coming together and making that car go in forward motion. So I have to show appreciation to negativity because it gives positivity its value. I wouldn't even appreciate this life if I ain't go through these struggles. I wouldn't even wanted to do your podcast if my mama hadn't been through what she been through.
Wow. Wow. So developing a deeper appreciation for life by recognizing what you've already been through, been to, and where you're going to. And with
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Oh, no, I was only going to read one paragraph from the book, so I don't give away too much from the book.
Oh man, you can share as much as you like. I'm open. I'm just not gonna share.
Okay.
It's the book was written for people to read it and for them to apply it. If I sat here and I gave all of the knowledge, nobody gonna value me. So I got to make sure that that what I created and what we created. I'm sorry, I gotta do 10 push-ups because my mama want me to delete the word I. So
Yes.
what we created,
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that people read this book, man, and go out here and really take ownership of your dreams. Stop watching me and watching other people be successful. Go take ownership of your land, your name, your dream. Your name, your land, and your dream, man. Give up your name that's tied to like slavery. That's not me no more. I never was a slave, so I should never be walking around with slave names. That's the energy that went into my book. Like, I wanted to free my name, free my mind, free my heart, free my soul. Therefore, in the flesh, I can walk around and live an unlimited dream. Anything is possible. That's why I have no fear. I don't fear no man or no woman at all on the face of this earth because I know I was put here to be like amazing to this world, to add value to this world, to inspire people to speak their dreams into existence. I wrote that book. When I came up with the concept of what you about to read, I didn't have no money in my pocket.
Mm.
I didn't have nothing. I just had a wealthy mindset. Just like when I wrote my mind is wealthy. When I wrote that quote, my pockets was broke, but my mind made sense. Mm-hmm. When I wrote that book, I said to myself, never spend your present time with people that you don't have a future with. When I wrote that book, that's when I said my book prices ain't going to be based upon your bank account. I'm not lowering the price of my books just to upgrade your ego. If you ain't got it, go get it. You got an iPhone. You ain't questioning them people about the prices of their stuff. So don't question me about the value that I'm giving.
I love that. And first, I gotta give a shout out to your mama for you even remembering to do 10 push-ups, because she said to use the word we versus I. Because I get on my son, I'm like, you know what? Go do 10 wall push-ups or do 10 sit-ups or do this and do that. So I'm like, okay, it does make an impact. So shout outs to mom for that, because that is awesome. And for you honoring, like, dang, man, my mama told me not to use that word because it takes away from the collective and the legacy and the history, in my opinion, of nobody does anything on our own. Every experience involves so many other people, right? And those experiences with other people and without other people is what makes us who we are and the way we think. And the fact that while you were becoming wealthy in the physical, you were already wealthy in the spirit, and you just manifested it in this book and still tied to your family and building your legacy. That's definitely want to make sure that that's caught and that people recognize that and apply that and that I honor that. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. It's not a problem. I appreciate you so much.
No doubt, no doubt. So you all, it's time for our book read. We're just going to read step 1, Work to create a wealthy mindset, the mind, and this is on page 41. You definitely need to get the book, okay? You can get the ebook, you can get the regular book, you can get a suede book, a gold book. It's up to you which book you get. But each one has a great deal of value. My son and I started reading last night, and before he went to sleep, we read the affirmation, my mind is wealthy, and we did it 7 times. And I promise, as we got to the third one, we both started smiling, and he started smiling so hard that I started smiling harder, and he started smiling harder. We were just sitting there just looking at each other like, yes, my mind is wealthy. And that's literally how we went to sleep last night, doing those affirmations. So I always remind people, simplicity really does change your life a great deal. Everything's not as complicated as we think it is. The complication is in us thinking that it's complicated. And so with that, on page 41, Billionaire P.A, you wrote, in order to create a wealthy mindset, it is very important to understand the power of the mind. The mind tells the body what to do, whether you realize it or not. Thoughts held in our minds can rejuvenate the body or give us a heart attack. It all depends on how the things we focus on impact us. Have you ever heard of being scared to death? Well, that's the mind creating such a high level of anxiety that the body literally interprets the feeling physically, knowing that your mind is that powerful. Doesn't that make you yearn to use it to create the reality you deserve in life? The first step in developing a wealthy mind is to focus on developing a healthy way of thinking, which will enable you to live a wealthy lifestyle. Deactivate your mind from failure and reactivate your thinking towards success. Cut the ceiling off of your mind. Don't impose limits on yourself. That's for other people to do. Opportunities are worthless if your mind is not prepared to handle them, or if your mind doesn't believe you deserve to have them. Notice my use of the term wealthy lifestyle above. I underscore that because developing a wealthy mind is not a one-time occurrence. Let me repeat that for y'all. Developing a wealthy mind is not a one-time occurrence, nor is it one-dimensional, just about having money. There are many people who are literally wealthy, but don't possess a wealthy mind because they practice thinking negatively instead of affirmatively. You must practice positive thinking in order to live a wealthy lifestyle and deal with the ups and downs of life. I'm not going to give y'all the last paragraph on the page because that right there is powerful in itself. And that right there is enough to digest and unfold because we're talking about deactivating, reactivating, wealthy lifestyle, and positive mindset, which is exactly what we do here to transform the mind, body, spirit, and soul. Is focusing more on the positives and how you switch your thought process in order to do that. So I'm going to digress, Billionaire P.A. with this right here, those 3 paragraphs. Wow, first off, even though I'm rereading it for like the 4th time, still a wow. The wealthy lifestyle. I know I've met people with little money who are very, very happy, travel, having cookouts every weekend, everybody healthy. And then I've worked with some millionaire clients who are just extremely depressed, suicidal, and stressed out because they got $25,000 in bills. They only made $30,000 that month. And they couldn't see that they had the opportunity to help others because they became so self-consumed with what they're doing. Is that kind of what you're talking about with the wealthy lifestyle, is knowing the difference in how to apply yourself and your resources?
Well, the way that I define the wealthy lifestyle is First you got to define what wealth is to you. And for me, I can only speak to myself. I never push my beliefs on people. I just, share my knowledge, and whatever people take from it, I hope that it inspires them. The first two letters in wealthy spell we. It spell we. It don't spell I. It don't spell me. So when I talk about being wealthy, the first thing that I want to do is help we, my community. Starting with my home. My grandmama used to tell me, don't worry about the black people next door until you take care of us. Make sure we straight at home. Take care of your home first. Then you go out and you start helping other people. Then you start branching out and you start helping the community. Then you start branching out and you start helping the world. So I can, it's problems all over the world. But before I can go help other countries, I got to help my mom. I got to make sure she got something to eat. I got to make sure my people in Alabama and my friends is inspired by the work that I'm doing. I got to make sure that Mississippi is inspired, and then just branch out to California and put up a billboard. And then we branch out to South Africa and we put up the mural. But I got to always tap in and check with my mama and make sure that she wealthy, that she tapping her heart 1, 2, 3, 4 times, taking a deep breath. That's what wealth is to me. Money is only a small component of wealth. It's just one component of it. Your health is another component. Being able to go homeless and call somebody and say, hey, I'm struggling. Can I stay with you? And they saying, yes, you can stay for at least a week, 14 days. Now, you cannot stay 30 days. But I can get you a week. It's good to have healthy relationships, people that you can have problem with, and instead of blocking them on social media, you call them and you sit them down and say, I need to have a mature, loving conversation. And if this conversation doesn't start and end with love, I don't want to have this conversation. I don't run from no problems I have. I tackle them. I call you and talk to you. I'm not texting you. I reach out to you. That's the level of maturity that I'm at, because that's the difference in rich and wealthy. And I'm not talking about no money. Money is a hobby to me. It's easy to get money, and people have a difficult time getting that. I don't have no problem getting no money. I know I'm a billionaire. That's easy. I'm not going to work so hard to go out here and get all the money in the world that has another man's face on it that raped and killed my ancestors, and be taught to appreciate that. That means nothing than to appreciate the people that look like me. So I don't take it that serious. I don't want to walk around with dead men in my pocket. That doesn't excite me. That's why I don't say I'm scared to death. No, I'm alive, serious. I'm not on no diet. I'm on to live it. I eat to live. I don't eat to die. I'm careful with the words that I speak. I don't say CAN''T. I don't say BROKE. I don't say TRY. I spell it for you. And if you say them words, get down and do 10 push-ups. I guarantee you I'm going to make change in this world, because everything that I tell people to do, it requires you to take some type of action. And after your 100 or 200 push-ups, you're going to be tired of doing them push-ups. You're going to stop saying TRY. And you're going to start speaking your life into existence. That's what a wealthy mindset is. That's what that book talks about when it says create a wealthy mindset. Delete the negative words. Imagine if every time I told you, you said BROKE, I made you give $1 to somebody.
Right.
You would stop saying that after $3.
You know what's crazy about you using that example? When me and my son were reading last night, right? That was one of the phrases we looked at. And I was reading, it's not in my budget, right? My son was like, Mommy, shouldn't that phrase, it's not in my budget, be over here on the other side? And I was like, no. And I explained to him what a budget was. And I was like, your budget just means, like, this is what you decided that you can do for a certain thing. And you're just saying that's not within your plan at the time. He was like, oh. Like, we had a real dialogue over those phrases. And he's 10. And I mean, he was into it like, okay, Mommy. And then we was looking at the words that you just said don't say versus the words to say. And we always talk about the powers of words, the power of language. Some people say every word is a spell. Everything that we say, it does manifest the power of thought, all within the same context, arena of consciousness of being aware life and death is in the tongue. And so it's just amazing to me that as you're describing it, I can actually hear my son and his comments as a 10-year-old processing it and putting it in and being like, okay, all right, but how can I say this in a whole nother way? And then how you mentioned the wealthy lifestyle there's something that I do with my clients. It's the wheel of life. And a lot of people use this in coaching or psychology and things like that. And the wheel of life has the different components of a lifestyle, and it's based on what you value. Like you were saying, you know, your family, healthy relationships. I would add in spirituality, exercise, what you're eating, your health, you know, your community. All of those things is in the wheel of life. And so I definitely appreciate you for sharing that there's more components to a wealthy lifestyle. And what you said about being happy about walking around with dead people in your pocket. Just that statement alone, I feel like is a whole nother book, a whole nother dialogue, a whole nother conversation. So I really appreciate you for just putting gems into the atmosphere for one to think about in their own time or in this time and space, and then also for elaborating onto your own philosophies of how you apply it, but being open-minded to the fact that every single person has to personalize whatever they hear and from whomever they get it into a context that fits them. So really thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you for being a spirit that is on your mission and serving your platform.
Oh, absolutely. I appreciate your existence.
All right, you all. Woo, that was a fabulous instrumental. It's always good to listen to something that doesn't have words so that your spirit can talk to you and you can hear what you need to hear for you. You know, decide how you want to program yourself. And I pray that as you've been listening to this particular guest that we have today, Billionaire P.A., that you definitely have been imparted with something to help you grow. Because always we want you to transform And right now I'm going to ask about this relaxation part on another level. So Billionaire P.A., before we go, because I can't believe how quickly time has flown, what is one thing you do, just one, if you don't mind, to manage stress or to manage the responsibilities that you have every single day?
Stop and I take a deep breath and thank God for
recognize you already doing it, and then to just allot like maybe that 15-30 minutes where you're totally just focused on your breathing. So more advancing your meditation versus you're not really doing it, because you're doing it and you're doing a phenomenal job, because I'm pretty sure from what you just said, you do that every day with your breathing and your healing bath and throughout your day to refocus, rejuvenate, give thanks. And that's awesome. Meditation should be simple. It shouldn't be complex.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, man, I hope you really enjoyed the interview.
I did. You are phenomenal. You are phenomenal. And you guys make sure that you reach out to Billionaire P.A. Honestly, you can just Google and you'll find everything you need to find. And that is his name. And as always, you all, thank you so much, Billionaire P.A., for being here. Thank you to all of our listeners across the globe. Really, really appreciate you so very much. Without you, this would not be possible. Without you, there wouldn't be a purpose behind what either one of us are doing. And I'm just grateful for being able to spread this message. I want to ask that the Creator continue to watch, shield, and guide all of us as we go throughout our journey. Bless, heal, and rejuvenate every single body and soul that is listening and is in vicinity of somebody who is even playing, and may the vibration go across the lands and spread, and may the whole world be infected with positivity, with success, with healing, with transformation. And may we all come into stronger awareness of ourselves and our divine purpose, and walk in courage, walk in strength, and walk in knowledge of knowing we are on the right path every single day. And if no one has told you all, I love you, I adore you. Mwah! Until next time, peace and light.